have people who are comfortable being themselves at work, and then people who look at me like I'm an alien when I share things that are personal or other things like that.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 1, 2, 3 Teamwork. Today with me is Andrew. Andrew, so incredible to have you with us. Great to see you. Can you give a brief introduction of yourself to our audience?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Andrew Davison. I lead strategy and planning for Facebook here in Asia Pacific for our small business team. I've been at Facebook for about 6 years, but before that, I was a BCG consultant. I'm an INSEAD alum. I'm an executive coach. I've done all sorts of different things with my life, but my passion is really around building teams and leadership within the tech space.
Perfect. It's perfect to have you with us. I'm so excited and looking forward to hear all your thoughts on this. Hey, let's start with some storytelling. Can you share with us an example of memorable or inspiring teamwork?
Yeah, definitely. This might be a little bit of a cop-out, but I have been super impressed with how my team has adjusted to working from home. And that takes a lot of the tenets of teamwork, right? Like you have to trust when you are not in the office that people are doing things and getting things done. And my team has done that so well. You have to be adaptable to understand like how to balance work and life, both within the team and just within your work as well. You have to be more vulnerable because you don't have those side conversations. Like over VC, you have to be able to express, I've had a really tough time at home. I need to like take a step back or adjust things. And, all the while, they're executing difficult tasks, both locally and adjusting to time zones and global calls and all these other things. So they've been doing all the things that you need for great teamwork. And like they've been really executing as an efficient team. And just, even though they're working from home and even though they're not in the office, they've been executing at exactly the same high level. It's been amazing to watch.
Incredible. How employees often can surprise managers with that.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I just trust at this point. Like I've had my team for quite some time, and like work from home has really just shown me how much you can trust people and you don't have to micromanage and they still execute.
Exactly. Yeah. I meant it in a sarcastic way because I think so many managers, they get nervous and they think, I need to see my team perform. But, most employees deserve that trust. The vast majority deserves that trust and will treat it really, really well. Yeah.
And it's surprising to see how able they are to balance things, right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of late night calls. So I find, sometimes during the day, they won't be online. And I trust that, they've done late night calls. Who cares where they are? Who cares what they're doing as long as they're getting stuff done?
Right. And output has become so much more important than presence. Yeah. Amazing. Great. Hey, so what do you typically find most challenging working in teams?
Building trust quickly, I think, is one of the most difficult aspects of teamwork. Because if you don't build trust and build that psychological safety that teams need early on, you get into a lot of troubles that are hard to back out of and land in the effective way. So I find like showing vulnerability and putting yourself out there and allowing people to challenge and have tough times early on really drives teamwork forward. So I think that's the most challenging thing is like, how do you build trust instantly or as quickly as you can before you're in that execution phase?
Right. And this is a difficult one for managers because showing vulnerability is not always accepted as a strong thing for managers, right? Yeah. How do you deal with that?
So for me, I am myself, fortunately or unfortunately. And you'll see like, if you talk to my team, I probably share too much about being vulnerable or other things like that because, I know my strengths and I know where I can be strong, but also I know my weaknesses, and being able to tell people where my weaknesses are really helps them navigate what to come to me for and where they can like engage with me and get feedback. So for me, I know it's a cop out, but like it comes a little bit naturally to me. I think for other leaders, it's just getting over yourself in some ways, right? Like you're going to slip up. You're going to do something stupid. And if you kind of set yourself up for that and say, hey, look, I'm not the best at, detail orientation or something like that, it's not a bad thing. And like when you are good at the strategy or you're good at something else, you have to play to your strengths and let people know where those weaknesses are. And it's lucky that I'm in a place like Facebook. My wife says like I probably couldn't work anywhere other than Facebook because I am just like I'm quite open, I'm quite direct, and as a result, my team trusts me when I say things, right? And when I put myself out there.
I get what you mean. Hey, so then what is your secret to great teamwork?
Psychological safety, right? Like having that open communication. If your team is not able to challenge, not able to feel okay saying that's not something I'm good at, or not okay saying that is something I'm good at, give it to me, I want to tackle it, right? If you don't have people who are willing and open to like step on people's toes sometimes, have some challenges, drive that kind of open communication and that psychological safety where they know maybe I'll say something a little bit difficult, but the team trusts me enough that we'll come out of this on the other side and I'll have someone either push back on me or do something else. So for me, that's the secret sauce, is the team that's comfortable being themselves, that's comfortable speaking up when they want to do something, and comfortable speaking up when it's something that's not their strength. Because then me as a leader, I can help them tackle things that they're curious about, tackle things that are within their wheelhouse and or stretch, and things that they're really energized on. And so if I don't hear from people saying this is something I'm not good at, or it drains my energy, or this is something I'm like super curious about, even though it's outside my remit, I can't balance those things. And so teams work their best when people know what to come to specific people to play to their strengths.
Hey, Andrew, you are Canadian, right? Working for American company in Asia, in Singapore. And then, to many people outside of Asia, they think Asia is one country, but you and me know the tremendous differences in culture and, dynamics, not just country, but province by province. And you manage an Asia role. How do you build that psychological safety in such a diverse context?
That's one of the most challenging things I face on a day-to-day basis, right? You have high context and low context cultures. You have people who are comfortable being themselves at work, and then people who look at me like I'm an alien when I share things that are personal or other things.
Exactly.
Like that, right?
Exactly.
And so it's just one of those things where if you make it a team norm, but also allow for the, historical context and other things about different countries and how open they are to sharing things. Psychological safety is not just about constantly sharing everything. It's about adjusting what makes people comfortable. And so like sometimes you will have different cultures where you have to really hold yourself back a little bit. And maybe you touch on other things, or maybe you engage in a different way, but making them comfortable. Psychological safety isn't about me sharing everything. It's about them feeling comfortable in that environment. And so my team adjusts depending on who's part of the team, right? And so there have been times where I have people from, Australia or the UK, and my team is a lot more open and sharing and other things like that. And then there's other times with other cultures where our team will get a little bit tighter in how much they share about their personal lives and other things like that. But they're still super comfortable because there's a lot of different people who like to engage at different levels. And so there's no secret sauce. It's really about knowing the boundaries and engaging with people and having them speak up when they feel uncomfortable. Or, I do a lot with allyship in the region. It's like when you see someone signal that they're uncomfortable or something else like that, it's your responsibility to go talk and say, hey, look, that thing that person X said, how did that make you feel? Are you okay? Right? And you have to just be attuned. And it's tough work from home. It's tough over VC. Like, I don't know how you feel about my engagement right now. And I got to do the same thing with the different people on my teams.
I feel very psychologically safe in this call.
Good. My son just shut the door to the bathroom over there. So I'm open to whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. No, that's true. But I see where you're coming from, because when we don't have full transparency on who might be sitting next to you, who might be listening in, what I might be recording, what I might take photographs of. There's more trust in a way needed when you work so remote, right?
Yeah. And one of the things I've found really successful on my end is starting with trust, right? I start by trusting the person on the other end and, do my best to show them that I trust them so that they kind of reciprocate rather than, trying to make them build trust with me. A lot of times it's I put my trust out there, and if I get bit, and then I have to rebuild it and try and figure it out. But more often than not, it comes back in a positive way. And that person is quicker to trust me because I've put trust in them and I've put responsibility on them when I think they can take something on.
Hey, it's a short recording, but this has been so insightful. Thank you for being with us, Andrew.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.